Everybody, welcome to day 19 of our 21-day yoga challenge. Thank you so much for arriving on your mat today and for committing to your yoga practice. Let's go ahead and get started. Closing the eyes, building this simple seated posture. So making any adjustments that you need to make in order for you to feel more comfortable in the posture. And as you're ready, turn your awareness to your breath. Shaking off the day's events or the night's sleep as you enter into this present moment. This moment, this time on your yoga mat. This time that you connect with your mind. This time that you connect with your body. This time that you honor yourself through the practice of yoga. This time that you honor yourself through the practice of being intentional, mindful. Turning the palms so that they face the ceiling as you lengthen the crown of the head up towards the ceiling and drop the shoulders down the back. Sitting tall here as an expression of you honoring you. Wrapping yourself up in this very moment, this present moment. And as you continue to honor yourself now in this present moment on your yoga mat, take a moment to set an intention. An intention for this practice, for this time that you're spending on yourself, with yourself. Bringing your palms together at your heart, reaffirming your intention. As you flutter your eyes open into your room, untie the legs, and let's immediately tuck the toes and press back into downward facing dog. Let the head hang, the ears in between the biceps here, as you stay rooted, as you build roots, grow roots down into the mat from the palms of the hands, from the soles of the feet. Downward facing dog is a strong and powerful posture. It's a posture we've come to know very well throughout this practice, throughout this event, this 21-day challenge. Rolling forward into plank, another powerful posture we have come to know so well over the last
18 days. Dropping down to the knees, crossing the ankles here and moving into chaturanga push-ups. We come down for 1 and up, and 2, and 3, and 4. Stronger arms than we had on day 1, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, high lunge pose. Strong posture here as you lift up into crescent pose. Reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling and take the gaze up towards the ceiling as well. Hands come down to the floor, moving with intention today as you step back into plank pose. Drop both heels over towards the left, and now both heels over towards the right. Back to center and back to downward facing dog. Linking these postures together with your breath. Right foot forward, fingertips to sky, crescent pose. Sitting deep down into this pose, drop the shoulders down the back. Hands come down to the floor, moving with intention as you step back into plank pose. Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot comes forward, outer edge of the right foot hits the mat. Warrior 2, rise up, reach forward and back. Palms come together above the head and fold forward, coming all the way down, wide-legged forward fold, all 10 toes turning in toward one another. Sink into this fold. Take the ankles into the hands as you pull yourself into this forward fold. Feeling the lengthening, the strengthening in the backs of your legs. Hands to the hips. Rise up. Turn the back toes out and reach for warrior 2 on the opposite side. And come up and fold again. Hands come to the floor in front of you. Right hand on the floor, right below your gaze, and take the left fingertips up towards the sky, twisting, wide-legged forward fold. And opposite side. And back to center. Walk your way to the top of your mat, the front of your mat, and come into a high lunge pose. And step back, plank pose. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. And breathe here in this foundational posture, this strong downward facing dog. Left foot comes forward, right knee drops. Lift the fingertips up towards the sky. As you do, lift the back knee off of the floor. Now open up into warrior 2. Hand comes down to the floor. Back hand comes down to the floor. Rise up, crescent pose, lean back. And now hands come down to the floor. Step back, plank pose. Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Same thing, opposite side. Right foot comes forward, left knee drops. Lift the fingertips, and as you do, lift the back knee. Crescent pose for a moment, and then warrior 2, reaching forward and back. Back fingertips move down towards the floor. Pivot the back foot, coming into crescent pose. A challenging transition. And hands come down to the floor. Plank to chaturanga, to upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Extend the left leg back behind you and bring the left knee in between the thumbs for pigeon pose. Walk the back leg back a little bit so you can come down onto your elbows. And breathe here. And now rise up in this pigeon pose. And as you do so, begin to balance, hands to hips first. This is a great place to stay if this is what feels good for you. You know, another option is to bring your left fingertips down to the floor. Bring all 10 fingertips up towards the sky. And hands come back down to the floor. Use the left hand as a kickstand here so you can lean into those fingertips and grab the right foot and take the heel in towards the sit bones. You can leave that kickstand there as it is, or you can begin to lift the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Draw the navel back towards the spine. And release everything. Hands, back leg, and step back. Downward facing dog. Bend one knee and then the other here in down dog. And now sink back into stillness. Right knee comes forward, pigeon pose. Create space as you walk the back leg back, coming down to the elbows. Now, if that sequence of postures within pigeon pose did not resonate with your body, stay here for the duration. And coming up and out. Gaze is directly out in front of you or perhaps up towards the ceiling. Hands come to your hips as you balance here. So you're lifting the pelvis up a little bit higher here. And now reach all 10 fingertips up towards the ceiling. And bring the hands down. Kickstand with the right fingers. Grab the left foot. Take the heel in towards the sit bones. Each side of your body is going to be different here. So maybe you leave this hand on the floor, the right hand on the floor. On this side. And maybe you lift. Experiment with your edge. And coming out. Hands come down to the floor as you step back. Downward facing dog. Step the feet forward into Malasana. Press the knees away from the body with the elbows. And gently rock side to side, countering our pigeon pose here, but continuing to work on the pelvis, the legs, the hips. And hands come down to the floor, step back, plank pose, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right foot forward and take those toes out towards the right. Right hand to your right knee and gaze back beyond that right shoulder. Roll to the pinky edge of that front foot as you gaze back towards the back of your mat. Untying your twist here and making your way back to high lunge. Strong spine, including the neck. And step back, plank pose, chaturanga, up dog, getting stronger every day. Down dog. Left foot comes forward, expand and extend in that back leg as the left knees turn out, roll to the pinky edge of that left foot and gaze beyond the shoulder. Twisting lizard pose and rebuild here. Rebuild your high lunge pose. Strong spine. And step back into plank pose, chaturanga, up dog. Drop the knees and sink back into child's pose. And shimmy side to side here. Swaying side to side. And now sinking into stillness. You can stack the hands and place the forehead on top of the hands here. And soften the shoulders. Soften the breath. Tuck the chin and come up into seated and come all the way back here onto your butt. Extend the legs out in front of you. Take an inhale, arms come up and overhead. And forward fold over those straight legs. Toes point up towards the sky. Reach the fingertips forward and up towards the ceiling and roll the shoulders, the arms back behind you. Coming into boat pose. Soles of the feet come to the floor first. As you're ready, build the boat pose. So snuggle the thighs in towards your chest as you have the hands back behind the hamstrings. On the hamstrings here. Good, you can stay here. This is awesome. Toes point up towards the sky and slightly towards your shins. So activate the soles of your feet. The next phase is to reach those fingertips towards the feet. This is a nice place to stay also. Really compact, strong as you draw the navel back towards the spine. Lift the hands up a little bit higher. Next phase is to extend the legs. Extend the legs super strong, draw the navel back towards the spine. So you have 3 options. All powerful Navasana. Find the one that challenges you the most. It's going to be something different for every person practicing yoga on their mat in this moment. And release your pose. Extend the legs and fold over the straight legs. Reach those fingertips forward, up towards the sky. Roll the shoulders back and come all the way back onto your backs. Release the legs down. Soften the feet away from one another. And relax into this moment. Be heavy on your yoga mat. Giving yourself permission to be exactly as you are. To soften into yourself. Into your body, onto your yoga mat. Wrapping yourself up in this moment. Nourishing the body with the breath. And with these few moments of relaxation, of surrender.
wiggling the fingers and the toes. Bringing life back to your body, eyes opening into the room. And making your way to a seated position on your mat. Palms together at your heart, closing the eyes. Again, wrapping yourself up in this moment. Connecting in this moment with your mind and your body. You are beautifully made. Thank you, a million thank yous for arriving on your mat today. Thank you for being exactly as you are. Namaste.